Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. Businesses expect inflation to slow marginally. However, their projection is still well outside of the Bank of Jamaica's target range. At the recent Epoch press briefing, the group's chairman, Keith Duncan, says private sector stakeholders expect inflation to be more than 12%.
Business expectations for inflation are expected to be at 12.6%. This reflects a deceleration relative to the expectations in July 2022 in that survey conducted, which was at 13.1%, but remains above the BOJ's forecast for inflation for the period. So therefore, the inflationary expectations of the business community are not necessarily aligned with the BOJ's inflation forecast.
Business expectation for inflation is an important metric, especially as it relates to pricing. Now, the Bank of Jamaica is, however, still expecting inflation to return to its 4 to 6% target range by September 2023. Mr. Duncan says for the rest of this year, inflation should fall within the 9 to 11% range. At the end of September, inflation was 9.3%. To some company news now, air conditioning and refrigeration company CAC 2000 says shipping issues are still affecting its business, with substantially more lead time needed to bring in goods. CAC CEO Gia Abrahams says the company is now seeing more than a 70-day turnaround for goods ordered.
The new norm for logistics has moved. We would be able to tell a customer we can get your product in 2 weeks. We can no longer tell a customer that. The new norm for production is 70 days. And that it then needs to get on the ship because they're not really being manufactured close by. So then that means another 2 months on the ship.
Ms. Abraham says the company is now looking at alternative sources and more robust supply chain management operations.
Has made us start to explore other suppliers, that's number one. Some of the local suppliers who may have it when we don't have it. And then using the ERP now, which is what we had implemented last year, we're using that to help us to streamline the ordering process and how best can we ensure that our replenishments are properly timed to decrease our stockouts.
To the foreign exchange market now, the US dollar is being sold for an average $153.77. $117.27 is the going rate for the Canadian dollar, $172.58 for the pound, while it's costing an average $152.06 for the euro. The JSE index declined by 2,003 points today, while the junior market index lost 58 points. Among the winners were Epley 5% preference shares, T-Tech, Sterling Investments US dollar shares, Epley 6% preference shares, and Tropical Battery Company. The decliners were led by Key Insurance Company, Cygnus Real Estate Financial, ISP Finance Company, Honeybun 1982, and Blue Power Group. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. Good evening.